not convinced that there's a need to be shirtless. It's like 60 degrees. The pavement stuff can't be that hot. Right, Fanny? Right, Fanny?
So now it's time for Q&A, and our first question comes from Amanda. She'd like to know how to raise vegan kids and if there's any good books out there on this subject. Well, actually, we didn't raise our kids vegan, but in order to become vegan ourselves, we did a lot of research. So I would suggest the same thing, Amanda. Do some research on website, raising vegan kids, raising vegan children, vegan parenting. There's a lot of good information there. And there are books out there, and I can do a little bit more research for you on that and give you some names later on. Dave, do you have any input on that?
That sounds good to me, Jan.
There are some books for kids related to veganism, like Dave Loves Chickens and How to Eat a Rainbow, which is a vegan cookbook for kids. So I don't know how old your kid is. You mentioned that I think that you have one, or that you're going to have one soon. So that might be some good places to start. But
well, and actually, to add to that, even some local meetup groups in your area. There are some that start
vegan parenting groups.
Right, and even some of the local animal sanctuaries have classes for kids on cooking, and so that's another area to look into.
Yeah, I think there's a Chicago vegan parenting group, and I feel like I've heard of them around other parts of the country, so that might be something worth researching as well in your area, or you could start one. Melanie wants to know if anyone's ever made their own almond milk and what kind of sweetener can be used other than vanilla to make it tasty for kids. So I've never made my own non-dairy milk, or any kind of milk for that matter, but my mom has and my dad has, so I'm going to pass it off to them.
Yes, we have made the almond milk in our Vitamix or the Cuisinart, and for a sweetener we've added dates, chopped up dates. You can also add some fresh strawberries, adds a nice flavor, and even chocolate. If you want to go the chocolate route, the syrup, the kids love that as well.
And the next question comes from Emily. She wanted to know how to keep fear and uncertainty from hindering you from starting and sustaining a self-supported business. This is a really good question, Emily. I feel like I could probably spend a long time on this one. I guess my short answer is I don't think there's one way. I don't think there's a singular way to keep it from getting in the way. I think the best option is to accept that the fear is maybe riding alongside you or with you, and just to know that instead of letting it take control over the situation, that kick it to the back seat. And I'm actually pulling a little bit from a video I just watched today, so good timing on this question. It's a great video, an interview with Elizabeth Gilbert on Marie Forleo's YouTube channel, and I'll put a link to it below. But Elizabeth Gilbert answers a similar question and does a really good job of explaining how, rather than saying, oh, I'm gonna push through the fear and it doesn't exist, instead acknowledging that it's there and being okay with the fact that it's actually creating some drive behind you, and just to remind yourself that it's not going to make the decisions for you, but instead it's there to help push you along. And now I'm gonna hand this to my dad and see if he has anything that he can add to it for you.
I've been an entrepreneur most of my adult life, and I agree 100% with the information Kristen was providing. I think she answered the question really well, but I would like to say from my own standpoint, I've been able to take that fear and use that adrenaline for a motivational driver to help me go the extra mile to ensure my success as an entrepreneur. So embrace the pain, embrace the fear, and use it to help drive you towards your success. You can do it. Hang in there.
Okay, the next part of Emily's question is, what is the single most valuable lesson that I've learned in creating and sustaining a business that is not only fulfilling, but also pays the bills? To be honest about this one, Emily, I don't know that I figured out the formula for that. I have been and I continue to do work that I do find rewarding and fulfilling, but is maybe not directly correlated to, say, this Will Travel for Vegan Food project. And some of that work is a result of needing to take care of myself and pay bills and move forward with that. Now, I've been very fortunate that I've been given opportunities or presented opportunities to do work that I love and support. But at the end of the day, one of my biggest passions is this Will Travel for Vegan Food project, and currently it does not pay the bills at all whatsoever. I haven't monetized it and haven't been able to monetize it in such a way that I could live off of traveling and eating full time. Even though people say to us, like, no matter what your dream is, you can make it happen and it'll pay all the bills and be your, best thing ever. I think we have to go into our passion projects with an understanding that it's going to be a continuous process. We might not always find or score something that does pay the bills, even if we are really passionate about it. And then the question becomes, how willing are we to push through that? The idea of knowing that maybe this thing that we really love doesn't pay the bills, and accepting that that's okay, and it doesn't mean that we can't do it and work on it. I think that there is a way to monetize a lot of the things out there, a lot of things that we enjoy doing. There's always a way to look at a different angle and find a way to do it. The question is, will it be sustainable, as you're saying? So I don't know that I'm really answering your question, because I don't think I've even figured it out yet, and I don't know that anyone really has. I think that we all kind of stumble along and continue to try different things and throw out different ideas and see what sticks and see what works in combination of what we enjoy doing, and I'm still working through that myself. And so now I'm going to see if my parents have anything to add to this one for you.
And I think you certainly covered all the angles. The only thing I can say is that never give up on following your passions. What we're all passionate about is its own reward unto itself in following that endeavor. And if you continue to pursue that, you'll find yourself successful emotionally, physically, as well as financially. So hang in there and keep pursuing your dreams.
All right, that was it for the Q&As for today. Now, Mom and Dad and I are headed to dinner. We're meeting up with my brother and his gal. We're going to have a nice meal before I head out tomorrow. I'm going to Florida for a friend's wedding, and then I will be off through the end of October on book tour stuff. And you're all coming with me. Yes. Hey guys, just got back to my parents' house after a lovely dinner with the family. I need to do some work, maybe start packing a little bit for tomorrow, have some errands to run in the morning before heading to the airport. Yay, I'm excited about this coming few weeks of travel. Thank you so much for watching, and please remember to eat well and travel often.